Yo, what is going on, people? It's the Xbox 448, and today, guys, we got some interesting news. It actually it broke last night, but I really wanted to get into it today because it seems like the Twitter world is absolutely blowing up. Huge shout out anybody checking out this video right now. I know it's been a little while, but I got a new computer, guys. And with getting a new computer, I kind of had to re-download all the software that I use, for making videos, for streaming and stuff like that. And guys, I'll let you know, I'm not done yet. There's certain like assets and stuff like that that I still have on my old computer. Um, that I didn't put into OneDrive, or OneDrive didn't read the format or the file, like what type of file it was. So I still have bits and pieces of the show, different production values, stuff like that. I still have it on the old computer. And man, it's been absolutely insane trying to get everything kind of smoothed out or whatnot. But I will let you know, I do have a more powerful computer now. And with that being said, I will be able to do more things on my channel. So I am really excited about that. Um, but let's get down to business, guys. And the first thing I want to talk about is the latest PlayStation firmware update. Now, with this update, it enabled remote play between iOS, basically remote play with multiple devices, whether you have a Samsung phone or a tablet or something like that. You will be able to kind of like stream your game from your PS4 or PS4 Pro to whatever device you want to play the game on. Yo, what is going on, Redneck? Good to see you in the chat. What is up, A. Lopez? How are you doing, brother? We are just getting into it right now, talking about the latest firmware update for PS4. And the reason why I want to talk about this, man, is because on Twitter, yo, things are going crazy right now. Of course, you have kind of like the Xbox fanboys kind of throwing it back at the PlayStation fanboys in terms of playing games on multiple devices. You have the PlayStation fanboys saying that this is different than what Xbox announced with the xCloud and all that good stuff. Oh, WildBase is just iOS. All right, well, just iOS. So, um your iPhone, I forget, your iPad, stuff like that, all right, which is still multiple devices. For people who don't know, you have been able to do remote play for a while now if you had a PlayStation Vita. Of course, they are both Sony products, and they had this whole where you can play the game remotely on your Vita while running it on your PS4. All right, so they've been doing that for a while. Now the whole thing is, a lot of PlayStation, I'll call them PlayStation extremists, because there are PlayStation fans out there that are awesome gamers and look at what's going on in the industry and can kind of use common sense when they come to certain conclusions about where gaming is going and stuff like that. But the extremists out there, when Xbox started talking about xCloud and when there were rumors about, Game Pass through xCloud, you know, going to the Switch where you can play your Xbox games that are in Game Pass. You can stream it to the Switch and play those games there. There was a lot of talk about how, Xbox is getting out of the hardware business. They're just going to be an app or whatnot. There was just a lot of like smack going around on Twitter, and now with this firmware update, we have these extremists out there. It's like, well, this is different. At least you still got to buy a PlayStation to do this whole remote play. And I'm looking at them and I'm kind of scratching my head. It's like, are you a gamer or are you a stockholder? Because I can't tell which one with your reasoning for this whole remote play. It is really cool that you can do that with the PlayStation. You could play your games on your iPhone, on your iPad, or whatnot with this new update. But let's be honest here, guys. You are still tethered to the console. Like you can't go, out. I don't know. Some people call me laundry bot sometimes. So you can't go out to the laundromat, and use your iPhone to play God of War or something like that. You are tethered to your console. So as a gamer, I gotta ask, as a gamer, would you rather be tethered to your console to play your games that you love on multiple devices, or would you rather it kind of be that streaming service, that cloud streaming where you can play your games wherever you want? Now, me as a gamer, since all these companies are trying to get into this cloud streaming and everything like that, I want my games wherever I am. If I want to play them there, I get bored someplace like the DMV or something like that. I want to be able, to play my games there if I want to. All right, and so when people are like, "Well, this is different," because it's remote play through the console and you have to buy a PlayStation. Guys, I gotta say, if you're talking like that, like, are you more interested in the business side of the gaming industry rather than the gaming side itself? Because that's what it sounds like to me. Um, it was absolutely crazy. Like, I know when it comes to my opinion on this whole thing, I'd rather have my games wherever I want to play them. All right, and we all know the industry is going this way. So if it's going this way, why not get the best of what's out there? Not having to be tethered, being the same house or anything like that, to be able to play these games. Now, shout out to Chris Hart. He's like, well, Sony was the originator. And I actually had a conversation with somebody on Twitter about this. I never said that Xbox invented anything. But what I am saying is Xbox is getting ready to take it to that next step, that next kind of like evolution of streaming your games. All right. And I think that's exactly what's going on. Now, for people out there who rather have the remote play and they would rather have, be able to play their game when, they're in the bathroom or something like that in between times or whatnot. Good for you guys. I don't want to be chained to my console if we're gonna have streaming options. If we're gonna have streaming options, I do like the fact that Game Pass is coming together with xCloud, and I'll be able to play those games on pretty much any device that I want to. I can dig it. I like it. As a gamer, this is a pro gamer thing. This is something that I think a lot of gamers should get behind. All right. And I feel that for all the people that are talking smack out there about Xbox and saying how, you know, they're getting out of that hardware business and everything like that, you got to remember Sony actually hired a bunch of people for PlayStation Now with the sole purpose of getting PlayStation Now ready to launch on multiple devices. So guys, these companies are doing the same freaking thing. Now Sony, I will give them credit that they have an option there that Xbox does not have right now with the remote play, being able to play your games remotely while you're within a certain vicinity of the console. That's a feature that Xbox does not have. All right. Let me see here. Christopher Hart says the way Xbox wants to take it is getting rid of home ownership of games and have it be a monthly paid service, an extremely expensive proposition for gamers. What, $10 a month is extremely expensive? I've been doing that for Game Pass pretty much since Game Pass came out. And all I've seen the library in Game Pass, all I've seen it do is get better and better. Yeah. At the end of the day, you also got to realize Sony wants to do this as well. Go look at who they hired in terms of their PlayStation Now division and what their talents cater to. All right? they are going to have a Game Pass like service as well moving forward. So for the people that are knocking it, saying that Xbox strictly wants to go to an app, are you going to say the same thing when PlayStation does the same thing? Because, like it or not, they are collecting the data from the remote play and seeing exactly what can be done with that hardware, and they're trying to equate it into a streaming service and what needs to be done to make sure PlayStation Now can be streamed to multiple devices via that subscription. Yeah. Face 23 Brooklyn, have you been able to play PlayStation Now on your cell phone or on a tablet? Let me know what other devices you have been able to play PlayStation Now on. Okay? That's what I want to know. All right? What have you been able to play it on other than your PS4? All right? PlayStation Now is Sony's Game Pass service. Yes. And is it on multiple devices right now? That's what I want to know. All right, Sony has stated publicly, this is from Christopher Hart. Sony has stated publicly they don't want things to move in this direction, but Sony can't let Microsoft just take all the money and try and outdo Sony on that front. So, Sony doesn't want to do it, but since Microsoft is doing it and since there's going to be revenue involved, Sony's going to do it. So, as that whole thing, cloud streaming, evolves, as it say it gets more popular, do you think Sony's not going to go in that direction because there's more revenue there? Let's be real on this, people. Let's take kind of like the PlayStation goggles off and the Xbox goggles off and call it like it actually is. I mean, this is what's going on. They see money here. You see it like with streaming services like Netflix and Hulu and stuff like that, and they're translating it into the games industry. It's exactly what's going on. Both companies want to do it. So, the people that are arguing how Xbox is like, ruining the gaming industry, it's going to be all cloud streaming and they want just an app. Guys, you are going to look absolutely foolish when PlayStation Now does the exact same thing. Man, I'm looking out for you guys. I don't want you guys, getting caught with egg on your face, man. Like having to avoid Twitter when that all goes down, because we all pretty much know it is going to. All right. I don't know. It's crazy to see kind of like the reactions and people out there in social media that just react without thinking, and they call the person that has common sense. That's like, you know what? This makes sense. Both companies are definitely going to go in this direction. Even if Sony comes out and is like, well, I don't want to, but Microsoft's doing it, and I know they're going to make money, so we got to do it too. So as they make more and more money doing that, you think Sony's not going to kind of like follow suit? I mean, seriously. Yeah, redneck gamers like, but I like egg. I like eggs too, brother. Good source of protein, get you energized, ready for the day. But guys, stop arguing over this. Both companies are going to have a service like this. So what's it going to be? Well, Sony cares about their customers more, and they won't like go full steam into this. When, if anything, Microsoft and Xbox, they are further ahead with their server farms that are out there worldwide, their infrastructure that's already out there. So Sony can be like, yeah, we're going to take our time. We don't really want to do this, but we're going to take our time. But in all actuality, they're trying to find a way to build an infrastructure or, work out a deal with Amazon or something like that to get enough servers out there to be able to, put PlayStation Now on multiple devices. They are reworking PlayStation Now. What do you guys think that means? Sony has also come out and said that they are reworking the PlayStation Now service. What do you guys think that means? I mean, seriously. Um, but yeah, this is a crazy topic. We will be tackling this topic on the next podcast this Saturday. So, guys, you're going to want to tune in. It is Saturday at 7. You're going to want to check out what the entire panel, their opinions on this whole thing. Yo, Redneck, thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. A lot of my followers, I can say a lot of my followers, it is good to have such kind of like high quality subscribers to this channel. People, gamers with common sense that don't let kind of like their preferred piece of plastic kind of like cloud their judgment at all. I really do kind of like, for lack of a better term, I really do like dig that about my subscribers. You guys are freaking awesome. All right, so next and final subject is Nintendo. All right, Nintendo has announced that through their Labo, which is it's basically, how do I explain this without just saying cardboard, cardboard, cardboard? It's different experiences, gaming experiences in which you build things with cardboard to enhance like your gameplay, right? So with this Labo service, I think they finally hit a home run with this because they are gonna come out next month in April with the Switch Virtual Reality Labo. So basically, you build your virtual reality goggles. You put the Switch in there, and they do have games that cater to VR experiences with the Nintendo Switch. I believe the Ultimate Bundle that comes with all the games, experiences, and stuff like that is about $80, and I think kind of like the trimmed down bundle is something like 40. I'm not too sure on the smaller bundle, so you guys can correct me in the chat if I'm wrong on that. But guys, I would not laugh at this, and I actually said this on Four Guys with Quarters. Yo, while we're at it, huge shout out to Four Guys with Quarters. I was a special guest last night on their 200th episode. That is the gaming podcast that when I wanted to get into podcasting, I took a look at Four Guys, and they really inspired me to try something different with the next podcast and not just have that, basic hangout. And shout out to Inferno, Clowns, and Assassin. They came together. They helped me test out like the original episodes of next podcast and everything. They are an awesome group of gaming podcasters and just gamers and people in general. Guys, if you haven't checked out Four Guys with Quarters, it is every Thursday, 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, because we all know Eastern is the right time. Definitely check out that show. But back to this whole VR and Nintendo Switch. Guys, I know when it comes to the Switch, people's expectations are kind of low with that whole thing. And I'm looking at the Switch VR like, if Samsung can do VR experiences with their cell phones, have kind of like that cheaper VR enclosure that you put your cell phones in and you get a VR experience. Definitely not the greatest. I don't think it's going to be on standards with PlayStation VR. I don't think the Switch has the power to do that. Um, definitely not on par with like the Oculus and the Vive, but it's gonna offer a virtual reality experience on the Switch. And guys, I would not like, before you start laughing and giggling and stuff like that, I want to let you know I think this thing is going to sell like crazy when it comes out. I think there are going to be a lot of people kind of like lining up to get this. A cheaper kind of like version of VR, $80, and you can get into a VR experience, even though, it's not the top of the line or whatnot. I think a lot of people are going to be interested in this. And I think the better kind of like question here is, who would have thought this generation that, out of the big three, PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox would be the only company not offering a virtual reality experience with their hardware. I think that's absolutely incredible, guys. I'm kind of shocked here when it comes down to it that Nintendo is able to pull off virtual reality experiences, but Xbox has been pretty freaking quiet on that whole front. Um, I want to know. I want to know from the chat, guys. Do you think it's about time that Xbox kind of notices that Nintendo, PlayStation, PC gamers, even people who have cell phones are kind of engaging in the virtual reality space. And do you guys think that Xbox needs to really take this seriously and give the Xbox gamers an option for virtual reality? I want to know. Hit up the chat. Let me know what you think. If you're watching this after, I go off air, hit up the comments. I want to know what you guys think about this. I am one of those people that feel that they need to do it. They need to do it. I don't think virtual reality is going anywhere. If anything, it's created its own kind of like its own subcategory of gaming, and you know these experiences where you're able to look around around the world, you're completely surrounded by the game or the experience that you're in. I think it's something special that Nintendo and PlayStation are doing, and I think Xbox needs to get up at bat, needs to swing for it and put it out there. Um, that's what I think about that, guys. I feel that with Xbox being a division of Microsoft, and Microsoft going into mixed reality headsets with companies like Acer and Hewlett Packard, I feel like they have um, more resources to be able to do this for the console. So I want to see what everybody is talking about in here. Let's see. Redneck Gamer pre-ordered Switch VR already. See, that's what I'm talking about, man. Redneck, I know you got to be excited, and dude, I am surprised they're doing it. Like you look at like kind of like the specs on the Switch, and the only thing that gets me to say, yeah, this is going to be possible, is the fact that there are experiences when it comes to cell phones in virtual reality, and the Switch is more powerful than a cell phone. So it's gonna be crazy, man. I don't know. All right, so I'm checking out the chat here. Jeff Zealot said Microsoft should just focus on GameCore. GameCore, right? There are many options for VR right now. Okay, I understand that, but if 2 out of the 3 companies are doing it, I don't think it's going to be a failure. And I feel like they're already addressing the whole kind of like game situation with the studios they acquired and moving into the future. Um, I think they can do fine with dealing with Acer and either using the Acer kind of like cheaper headset and bringing it over to Xbox One X, or dealing with them on developing a Xbox, quote unquote Xbox headset. Um, I don't know. I think they should. I'm definitely in that camp. I have messed around with the Oculus and the Vive. Of course, I don't feel like they're perfect. I feel like when it comes down to it, you can still see the pixels within these headsets. It gives kind of like a screen door effect that I definitely can see. But some of the experiences are freaking wild, man. And I would love to see them over on the Xbox platform. That's all I'm saying. Uh, Redneck says Microsoft needs to bring that HoloLens. See, now, the HoloLens itself, it is mixed reality. You have the augmented reality. I believe you can use it for virtual reality as well. The thing about the HoloLens is it's its own computer. Like it has its own CPU, GPU, has another processing unit that works with it. That thing is a lot of money, dude. It was never meant to be strictly a peripheral for the Xbox One. It was meant that they people in Microsoft basically said that if for some rhyme or reason you have an Xbox One and the HoloLens, they can technically be hooked up together. But I don't think they can sell that thing as a peripheral with the price that it is, man. I don't know. That's just me. I that's what I think. I don't want to see people kind of like dipping into their college tuition and stuff like that for HoloLens Xbox One package here. Wild Bates. Yo, Bot, how cool would it be if Microsoft used the HoloLens tech for the HUD of games in your face, like a helmet in Halo? Dude, that would be cool, but you don't need the HoloLens for that. That is an augmented reality. Acer makes a headset. I believe it's like $150, $200 or so that can do that for you. All right, you can get the HUD like right there around your eyeballs, like right there in that augmented reality. So you don't need to spend that much for HoloLens to be able to get that type of experience, and that's why I'm saying I feel like Xbox is kind of dropping the ball a little bit here. They're letting they're letting other people in the gaming industry give these kind of like unique experiences that you know hardcore Xbox gamers are not getting right now, unless they go ahead and buy other platforms. See what I'm saying? I don't know, but that's pretty much it, guys. This is not a podcast. This is just a live video. So I don't like making them too long. I gotta say, guys, I had a blast with you guys in the chat. Uh, when it comes down to playing games being streamed on multiple devices, don't be the pot that called the kettle black. All right. At the end of the day, both these companies are going to have an offering in this space. Don't be the one guy that says, "Well, Sony doesn't want to do it, but they don't want Microsoft taking over on it either." So you're trying to say if Sony does something really well and the gamers attached to it, they're not going to be like, yeah, well, this is the way we're going to go. We're going to invest more into this or whatnot. Dude, they're definitely going to do that. Hold on, one more. Jeff Zealot. I think that the Xbox adaptive controller is more substantial for the gaming industry instead of VR right now. However, that's not to say Xbox will push for VR in the near future. And Jeff, I'm hoping for that. The adaptive controller, I feel, is absolutely incredible. It brings people who thought they couldn't game or people who are trying to deal with a controller that just doesn't cater to their special needs. I love what Xbox did there in terms of getting more people able to play games. I think that was a really good deal. It's something that they didn't even have to do, but to think about those gamers out there and to bring them into the gaming industry and not have to struggle with like a standard controller, think's absolutely amazing. It is one of the things that should really shine out there. People should really praise that whole thing. But then of course, when it comes to social media, people have made fun of that as well, which is insane in my opinion. But guys, it was cool hanging out with you this afternoon. I am gonna try to get up a live stream. Me and my son, we're supposed to be playing Viva Pinata, so I'm gonna try to get set up for that. So this way, for people who never saw Viva Pinata before, I think it'd be a cool game to stream, especially with me and him. He is a master at that game, by the way. It's been years since he really got into it, but guys, he was going in, he was getting dragons and stuff like that. It was really cool. So definitely be on the lookout for that stream to go live. I'm gonna try to do it before Crossfire tonight. But other than that, if you like the content, you like the topics, definitely hit that thumbs up button for me. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, definitely subscribe. Like I said, I got a new computer. I've been trying to download all the software, get all my assets in for like the next podcast. I'm also working on another show. Basically an Xbox specific show where nobody really talks about like fanboy stuff. It's just that if you are an Xbox player, if you like the platform, I wanted to create a show that kind of caters to you guys out there. And so I've been working on that, but I've been trying to get all the assets together, put everything together, and move forward with my brand new computer. Guys, it is more powerful. I hope you guys are seeing. Let me see if I could check this out here. I'm gonna go to settings. We're gonna go up to 1080. Yep. So I'm finally at 1080p resolution for my channels, and the podcast, so that's good. And not only that, I'm gonna have more features, more production going on. So yo, thank you, Jeff. I really appreciate that, brother. But not only that, you can follow me on Twitter as well. It's at xbot448. I know you guys out there. I know Redneck. There's quite a few people in the chat. I am active on Twitter. I will talk. Sometimes I'll talk nonsense, joking around. Sometimes I give my honest opinion on things. But it's all fun there on Twitter. So definitely follow me on Twitter at xbot448. But guys, for now, this is the xbot 448. And I am definitely signing